Thank you. Good morning, Unity. I'm going to open with a Ricky Byers Beckwith song called How Can I Serve Today? If you know it, join in. How can I serve today, sweet spirit? How can I serve today? Oh Lord, speak in ways I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. Who needs my love today, sweet spirit? Who needs my love today? Oh Lord, speak in ways I can understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. How can I share? How can I share today, sweet spirit? How can I share today? Oh Lord, speak in ways I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. I want y'all to join me on this next verse. It says, how can I serve? How can I serve today, sweet spirit? How can I serve today? Oh Lord, speak in ways I will understand. I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. How can I love today, sweet spirit? How can I love today? Oh Lord, speak in ways I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. How can I share today, sweet spirit? How can I share today, my Lord? Speak in ways I will understand. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. Where you lead me, I will follow. Where you lead me, I will go. Happy Sunday, y'all.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
All right. Thank you. I can't hear all of you up there in La La Land, but I know you're saying good morning. Welcome to Unity on Greenville, a positive path for spiritual living. So glad you're with us this morning. My name is Donna Kirby, and I am going to be your celebration assistant this morning, just in case you were wondering why I'm up here. Some of our announcements are really very, very exciting. Today we have Reverend Pat Moore, and I just met her today, and she is just a bright sunshine. Yeah, you're going to enjoy her. And then we have a number of speakers already lined up that you'll see, and they're on our e-news. So we are abundant with speakers. Oh my goodness, who doesn't like cake? I don't see any hands. Anybody up there? Judy, are you sure about that now? Okay, just making sure. Easter Sunday, we are having an Easter cake silent auction. April 9th, which is Easter. It starts at 10 o'clock a.m. before church. And then everyone comes into church. Don't forget about coming to the sanctuary and listening to our speaker. And then immediately after, you have 30 more minutes to bid on the cakes. I believe they're going to be in our foyer. Is that correct? So as soon as you come in, you will go, oh my goodness gracious, it's going to smell like cakes and be so beautiful. So we're excited about that. And of course, we have someone that we feature, and I don't see her right now, but her name is Raina. You just need to know Raina. She is our baker. So please join us for that on Easter Sunday. I did not know, but we are on Instagram, and I have to admit, I know nothing about Instagram, but we're there. So that's really all I'm going to say about it. So if you're acquainted with Instagram, go for it. But we are there, Unity on Greenville. A very special book called The Four Agreements by Miguel Ruiz is going to be featured in a class that is going to be facilitated by Ben Garcia, who is on our board, and myself, yours truly. I was first acquainted with this book probably about 25 years ago when I was in therapy. I'll admit it, I was in therapy. And my therapist recommended that I get this book, and I'm so glad I did. It has helped to open doors. So I invite you to please find the book and then attend our class. And it's for 6 weeks. It begins April 16th and ends May 26th. And we're going to have a workbook, and we're going to have such meaningful conversations. It's fabulous. So please join us for that if you are so inclined. Hello. Valerie. There we go. Prayer chaplaining. Without our prayer chaplains, our congregants have told us how important we are, and also how they would miss us if we didn't exist. A prayer chaplain is someone who will learn how to pray. We have the training, we provide the training. And they pray with the congregants. They pray with one another. There's nothing difficult about it. But without the chaplains, this church would be missing out on a lot of spirituality. I am the sacred spiritual, sacred space, sacred spiritual group. I can't think of what it is. That's all right. I'm just a coordinator. And we treasure each one of our congregants. We call them each month, and we let them know that they are being loved. And Bristol Hart, who is in the back, is keeping each and every one of you in sacred space, praying over you for your best good. If you have any questions, please ask Bristol Hart, Sandra De La Cruz, Judy Flemister. You want to raise your hand? And I don't know if there's anybody else right now. Please ask them any questions you may have, and we will be letting you know when the training goes. Thanks. All right. We thank you for sharing your abundance with us. It's important to us because we tithe to several different entities, one being the stew pot. When I was working in a clinical setting, I used to take my clients over to the stew pot downtown, and they provide dentistry, they provide doctors, they provide food to the homeless or those who are down on their luck. Not only that, but the people that are there are truly gifted artists. And on the second floor of their building, they have a number of people who paint these beautiful paintings. And we have, on 2 or 3 different occasions, displayed them in our bookstore. And they're for sale, and they have sold some. And the funds go to that individual who painted it. So this is just one of the entities in which we tithe for every month. And speaking of tithing and offerings, please speak with me our offering blessing. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. With gratitude, we commit to using our gifts for good. Thank you. The word for today is joy, and I love that. I love joy. March 26th, 2023. I draw from my wellspring of joy. There are many ways to express joy. I may speak words of praise that brings the awareness of even more blessings to my mind. I may take joyful action, my every step aglow with the light of God, enlivening all that I do. I celebrate the playful joy of every child, especially the child within me. I experience the same happiness whether I am at the heart of a busy city like Dallas, that wasn't in here, or in the stillness of nature. And then there is the quiet joy of just being. The richest joy of all is just being. I rediscover my joy by taking slow, deep breaths, tapping into my wellspring of well-being that never runs out. I feel its energetic flow spilling over into my heart and life. What joy to be a spiritual being, a precious child of God. But the angel said to them, "Do not be afraid, for see, I am bringing you good news of great joy for all the people." Luke 2:10. Please repeat with me the affirmation. I draw from my wellspring of joy. Thank you. Now I would like to invite Judy Flemister to come forward and lead us in prayer.
Good morning, Unity on Greenville. Whether you're here or you're watching via the multiple ways that we have available to us to watch through media these days, which we're very, very fortunate to have that. So as we stop for just a moment and pause, we're going to take 3 deep breaths, and close your eyes if you're comfortable doing that. And we're going to breathe in happiness, and breathe out joy. And sweet Spirit, as we go deeper within to the core of our being, we know that you are always with us. You are always guiding us. If we don't hear your still small voice, it's because we've chosen, whether it's subconsciously or consciously, to try to do it our way. It has to be God's way, because that's the truth. That's the truth. So we take this moment to honor the word joy and what it brings to us and what it brings to our world when we share it with others. We thank you so much for our continued spiritual growth. Namaste. I'm sorry. Which one?
I have this.
Oh. Does anybody want a microphone? By the way, I'll be a...
It's time for our meditation, so I would like to invite you to sit erect in your chairs so that energy can flow to you and through you. This is the time when we consciously blend into all that is. So breathe in to the count of 4. Exhale to the count of 4. Breathe in. Breathe out. So feel, if you will, that in the very center of your being, a ball of light. It can be as bright as you want. You choose. It can be a night light, or it can be bright as a football stadium light. And breathe that light in. Feel it filling your body. Lift it up with every inhalation. Breathe it in, raise it up. Feel that light traveling upward, radiating out. Breathe it in, raising it upward again into the very top of your head. And exhale. Exhale anything that does not feel like God. Let that light push it out. Push it out. Feel that light occupying every cell of your body, healing it, radiating out and healing others. With every breath, enhance that light beyond the perimeters of your body. Breathe in and let that light fill this room. Fill this city, this state, this nation, this planet. For it is vital. I bring it back in. Feel your physical body being a light that stays with you, healing every action, every reaction, every function of your body with the divine creative spirit. And know that you have changed your day. You have changed every place you walk, It is holy ground. And this light goes out to bless the world. And so it is.
Touch through me, Holy Spirit. Touch through me. Let my hands reach out to others. Touch through me. There's a lonely soul somewhere needing just a friend to care. Touch through me. Divine Spirit, touch through me. Love through me. Divine Spirit, love through me. I will be my brother's keeper. Love through me. Hearts are hurting deep inside. My love can dry their weeping eyes. Love through me. Holy Spirit, love through me. Touch as me, sweet Spirit, touch as me. Let my hands reach out to the world, touch as me. There's so many souls out there needing just one friend to care. Touch as me, sweet Spirit, touch as me. Love as me, Holy Spirit, love as me. I will be my brother's keeper. Love as me. Hearts are hurting deep inside. Love will dry those teary eyes. Love is me, sweet Spirit, love as me. Ooh, touch as me. Divine Spirit, touch as me. Touch as me. Touch as me.
Thank you, Miss Rachel. Beautiful song. Shall we give her another applause? Yeah. Did you write that? No. Oh, okay.
Jimmy Swagger.
Who? Who was that?
Jimmy Swagger.
Oh, really? Oh, that's where I've heard it. Okay.
Traditional.
Yes, okay. Well, I don't know if you know it or not, but Rachel writes a lot of her own songs. And she has told me that she's come up with songs on the way to church that she'll sing here. Is that right? Yeah. So talented. We're blessed to have her. Well, and speaking of being blessed to have someone, we are blessed to have Reverend Pat Moore. And I'd like to do a formal introduction for her. And please excuse me while I read this because I want to make sure that I get everything correct. Reverend Moore has been a student of Metaphysics New Thought for 65 years. She recently retired as a 10-year co-minister with her husband, who is here today, Reverend Glenn Moore, at the Harmony Spiritual Center in Fort Worth. Also serving with Glenn as ministers of at the Unity of Waco, Unity of Richardson, and an interim at Unity of Irving. Are you tired yet? No. Oh, okay, I didn't think so. She is a frequent guest speaker at various venues in Texas, and we're one of the lucky ones that she has decided to visit, and has been a repeat guest speaker with late Reverend Chris Chenoweth, spiritual cruises, and other spiritual retreats. I've never been on her spiritual retreat. That would be wonderful. Her passion is teaching how divine energy works in our lives. I'm looking forward to learning that. Please help me welcome Reverend Pat Moore. You're welcome.
Thank you, Rachel. This community is blessed to have you. And Donna, where are you? Are you in here? Okay, well, you're not in here, but I'm going to tell my story anyway. This is not part of the message, but she was forgetting something. And it reminded me of when we were in New York, we used to go hear Eric Butterworth. And he tells this story about his maid, that he was off on a trip someplace in Europe doing something, and his maid had the flu. And he said, well, let me write you this affirmation. And he wrote this beautiful, flowery affirmation on how to heal and what to say to bring that healing forth. And so when he got back, he said, I see you're better. I guess that affirmation worked. And she said, well, I lost that the first day, and I couldn't remember it, so I just said, oh, hell, I'm well. So, Donna, don't forget about forgetting, okay? So, I wanted to talk about these 4 stages of spiritual growth. In the mid-1980s, author and founder of Agape International Center, Michael Beckwith, introduced a simple model for understanding the 4 stages of spiritual growth and development. Now, this is not only common psychological techniques, but it's also developing the energy within you to help you give a jump start to those principles. We each have had different experiences in our life that we've had to heal. It's common. We're human. We've got them. We've had to learn something, some lesson. But sometimes we have those experiences simultaneously. We're having the good experience and the bad reactionary experience all at the same time. And these stages of growth, I can do them in 30 seconds. It's taken me a lifetime. I have a friend who is the most loving, most generous, most kind, most giving person that you'd ever want to meet. but dang, that woman is assertive. She wants it her way or the highway. And so one of my particular lessons that I've chosen when I jumped in this bag of bones was to deal with assertive women. So in my 30 seconds, when she starts getting fussy about what's going on, I react, because when I was a child, if an assertive woman soon after being assertive would punish me in some way or another. So I have to overcome that. So in that 30 seconds, I react, and then I say, no, wait a minute. This is just who she is. She's not meaning any of this about you. It's none of your business. That's her thing. Just let it go. So I go through all these 4 stages in 30 seconds. Have any of you done that? Just react, and then you calm yourself down. But now this is what Michael, you've heard about dropping the mic? I didn't even have to try. Michael Beckwith tells this about the to me stage of spiritual growth. He says, the to me stage that we experience ourselves at the effect of other people and circumstances of our life. That as long as we're making other people responsible for our circumstance, we're giving away our power and limiting our ability to make the necessary changes. And we need to let go of that blame. In the to me stage, everything happens is out there. That's what Michael Beckwith has to say about that. So if we're giving others the responsibility, like who is it? Our parents, our ex-spouse, our boss, Satan? I mean, some places tell us that, but we had more control then. But in my own life, I went from the to me stage. I'd already been in metaphysics for about 20 years, and my first husband died, and I had some insurance money. And I opened a restaurant, and I closed a restaurant. Stuff happens. So I'm in there thinking about, I'm waiting for Jesus Christ to ride up on a white horse and save my butt. You want to know where Jesus Christ was? I don't know if you've seen this cartoon from the New Yorker. These 2 little guys in suits are knocking at this lady's door. And she opens the door and they say, "Have you found Jesus?" Well, over her shoulder in the background, there's this lump in the draperies. And if you look down at the bottom, there's these little sandal toes peeking out. Well, in my restaurant education, I think that's where Jesus was. He wasn't there to save me. He was behind the drapes saying, "Not my problem, not my karma." I was living in fairy tale thinking. I'd been in metaphysics for 20 years. I had all these affirmations, expect a miracle. I didn't know I was supposed to be the miracle. Money flows to me easily and quickly. All that is out there stuff. I was wanting someone else to come in and take care of all this for me. So then, what did happen? I was drugged, kicking and screaming the whole way into the by me stage. I want to stop right here and let you know this as me stage correlates with the root chakra where you're overcoming childhood tapes. Can you still hear me, Valerie? Okay. We're in a rocky relationship here. But anyway, I was kicking and screaming, and so this is what Michael Beckwith has to say about the by me stage. In the past, I had a little day book that I carried around, and I had this mantra on it. If it is to be, it's up to me. Well, that's the by me stage. And the by me stage, by the way, is part of the sacral chakra where the creative energy comes from. Just like we did in meditation, we're raising that energy up through us. That's what energetically we're doing as we grow through these stages. So this is what Michael Beckwith has to say. This is where we learn we are not victims of circumstance, but rather the creators of it. It's a building or a rebuilding stage. It's a powerful step on the path. You know, this phase often sneaks up on you. Not for me, it pushed me. So my rebuilding stage was the next 20 years. I was really a slow learner. Now remember, I'd been studying metaphysics for 20 years, but now I had to step into new thought principles. And it's a little bit different, one from the other. That many years ago in the 1960s, I was studying about metaphysics and I was learning all sorts of cool things. I was so enamored with all these new things that I was learning. I was learning about reincarnation. I was learning about speaking to the dead. Best of all, I was learning how to get a parking space. Anybody? Okay, well that's metaphysics. That is, like the word says, it's greater than the physical. But now I had to get into new thought principles, which is the involvement from that beginning interest in metaphysics. I was learning how to change your mind and change your life. And so that's what I had to do. So in the midst of all this restaurant fiasco, I met Glenn, we got married, and we started our spiritual journey together. It was the 1980s and business had failed all over the whole planet, it seemed like. So we're both overcoming our bad business decisions, growing towards something new. So we started going to Unity. The first thing we did in Unity, we were going to Unity of Arlington, and Edwin Gaines came back in the early days to give a conference. And so we started implementing the things we had learned from her, and that was really the basis of our progress. Thank you, Ed Weems. You know, so my rebuilding phase came with, I had to sell my home and my vehicles because in the restaurant business, I had lost everything. My home, my vehicles, and the respect of anybody that knew me. So that's where I had to come from. And now I had to rebuild and learning these principles and putting them into effect. And somehow it happened to us. We didn't choose it, but we became involved in churches as ministers. And we were learning just like everybody else. Whatever we learned, we taught. It's like Maya Angelou says, you know, you do with the best with what you know until you can do better. So we were teaching what we'd learned. Next week we learned something better, and then we went to teaching that. And we were the beneficiaries of all those things, you know, with all our human foibles. I began to study exactly what the energy does. How does it work? What makes the affirmations work? What makes this work? For instance, you know, in churches, in Unity or in all the other churches, we emphasize that tithing is a part of the step in prosperity. And we learned that it was never about a negotiation with an authoritarian God. It teaches us to trust and then to know. And there's something else with a subtle difference. Knowing is an out there concept. Trusting is an out there concept. Knowing is an in here concept. So that's what you want to go to. Also, healing in a church. You were talking about healing. There you are. I was looking out there for you. When we ask for prayer, if the person is individually asking for prayer, what that happens, they're so much in anxiety, they put a roadblock up in front of themselves energetically. They can't, because of their anguish, do an effective prayer. So you call for the prayer chaplain, or you, in Science of Mind, it's the prayer practitioner or the minister. And what that does, just like all of you sitting here, you're not in anguish about anything, and you simply know God heals. That's the way it is. God heals. It's accepted. We know that. But the person in anguish can't get from here to there. So the prayer practitioner says their prayer, and they ride in on a vehicle that knows that the prayer will be answered, that knows that God helps. So that's how that energy is different when you don't want to put that roadblock. That's what we learn in New Thought churches. So bit by bit, awareness crept in for us and things changed. And 20 more years went by. And our life became dramatically different. And we didn't know the moment that it happened that things changed. But in retrospect, we were able to look back and see what that moment was that changed our life. And this was all part of learning. If it is to be, it's up to me. But we retired from Unity of Waco, and we're talking, we had probably 20 choices we could have made on what to do at the next stage of our life's journey. And it didn't matter what we chose. We talked about this. We said, it doesn't matter, just pick one. Because we knew that God had our back. And that was the moment of surrender. Now, honey, I am Irish. I don't surrender. I didn't demand surrender happen. It just came to us because that's what you grow into. And once you surrender to knowing that you're part of God, it changes the flow of the energy, and it comes to you and goes from you. So then we were going into the through me stage. And this is what Michael Beckwith has to say about the through me stage. He says, when we've worked hard at developing skills in any activity or endeavor, from music to sports to mathematics, there's a moment when we cross over from pure, focused energy to a feeling of grace and flow, and it then becomes easy. We're trying the same things over and over and over and over, and then suddenly you go from playing the music to having the music play through you. Is that not right? So that's how you let creative energy flow to you and through you. And it changes the effectiveness of how you're conducting your spiritual journey. In our home church, I often talk about, until they're sick of hearing this, but a person that is gifted and talented is usually gifted and talented in more than one thing. And you think, how fair is that? Do you do something else besides music? Are you a good cook? Okay. Tony Bennett sings and he paints. But the real secret is not expressing those gifts. Those gifts are part of your filter. The gift is being at the stage where you can tap into that creative energy and let it flow through you. It changes everything. And you recognize that, and you know that. And like I said, the filters are just irrelevant. If you're sitting here, or if you're watching on live streaming, and at this stage of New Thought, you probably read 500 books. Easy. So and they run the gamut. They run through the filter of the writer. The Course in Miracles is about as rigid and hardline as you can get. Neil Donald Walsh, you can't get any loosier, goosier than Neil Donald Walsh. Glenn said he read the third Conversations with God before he knew God was a liberal Democrat. Who knew? Right? Let's see if I'm okay. The through me consciousness goes from wanting to be significant in the ascension consciousness of humankind. And it's all about what can I do? What can I do to change things for somebody? What word can I say? What thing can I teach to change the consciousness and uplift the planet? And there's nothing wrong with that. But then one day, you've discovered that you're just in humility foreseeing how you are being used, that how God is acting through you with your filters. And it's no longer about what can I do, but how can I serve. Now I'm going to tell you the story about the best thing I have ever been a part of in the through me consciousness. And this guy that I'm going to talk about, the Home Depot angel, I doubt if he ever stepped foot in a Unity church. I'm not sure he ever stepped foot in any church. But this was the deal. We had to go help our daughter in Waxahachie. We were living in Fort Worth, in Glenn's beat up old pickup so she could take something somewhere. So we swung in, and it was a time of the year, and it's still dark when Home Depot opened. So we went in and we got our stuff and got back in the pickup, and he turned the ignition on, and it was dead. Dead, dead, dead. And Glenn said, oh my gosh, I wish I had some jumper cables. And who should come by but this little guy with jumper cables in his hand, walking by his window. He rolls down the window and says, oh, do you mind helping me a minute? Can you give me a jump? The truck won't start. So he gave us a jump. It was dead, dead, dead. And he says, I've got some fuses in my glove box. Let's see if one of those will work. Got out the fuses, put them all where they go in the dashboard there. Nope. Dead, dead, dead. And then he says, well, he said, I'm a heavy equipment mechanic. Let me get under your truck. He goes over to his truck and gets the rolly thing. You know, it is so early in the morning, there is no mechanic. We were just going to be stranded. And there he has his rolly thing. And he rolls under the truck. And he wiggles around. And he said, I think I have a part for this in my car, or my truck. Sure enough, he goes, rolls out, gets the part, puts it on, and it's fixed. And so Glenn thanks him profusely, gives him some money in gratitude, and off he goes. And off we go, but we couldn't go. We had to pull over to the parking lot in Home Depot and weep and weep and weep. What else could it have been but God, you know? It was too obvious. It's so obvious I put it in my evidence journal. You know, other people keep a gratitude journal. I have an evidence journal. And it was just overwhelming. And also he says, you know, I didn't intend to stop at Home Depot, but I wanted to get the flyer and see what they had on sale this week. He didn't even intend to stop. At what time was it? 6 in the morning? And he whips over. I'm sorry, it's God. But you have to be willing to be both the giver of the through me energy, but you've got to be the receiver too. And just thank you, God, you know? How could that guy have gotten a star in his crown without us in our beat up old pickup at Home Depot, you know? We have to be willing and giving enough to be both. So then we go into the ASME stage of this journey. This is what Michael Beckwith says about the ASME stage. As we allow our individual expression to merge completely with the energy we are experiencing or creating in the world, we realize we're actually a part of the infinite creative force of the universe, which is expressing and experiencing itself individualized as me. We've all heard Eric Butterworth say that we are a crumb in the cupcake of God. I'm not in tune with that, but he said it, Or what about this you've all heard? I'm a drop of water from the ocean. I have all the attributes of the ocean. I may not be the big ocean, but I am a part of all that is. So this is the as me stage. Now I know if you've been in church, no matter what faith you came from, you've heard this story from every kind of minister there is. And it's about the story about the drought in the land, and then the minister and the Native American medicine man go up to the mountain to pray for rain. So there's this traditional minister, and he's praying to God, you see? Oh, and he's doing this supplicating prayer. Oh, please, God, let there be rain. Let it bless the earth. Let it bless the people. Let the land recover. And nothing happens. But the Indian medicine man, already in tune with the forces of nature, has a one-word prayer. Rain. Sure enough. You see, and he's praying from God, knowing that God, the infinite power of the universe, is already within him. It's like, in the Bible, they have the Lord's Prayer, and Christ is telling us it is not what you pray, not the words you use, but how you pray. And if you'll remember, that's what he's doing, giving that polite command into the universe. Give us this day. Forgive us our debts. There's no supplication or begging. You know that you come from God, and you can be a powerful, creative being issuing these polite in all of the universe type commands. You know that your spoken word is all that it takes. It changes things. And so there you are. Becoming one with God is sort of like getting married. You court your sweetheart, you're wearing your best dress or whatever it may be, fix your hair, and you say lovely things, and you're getting to know this person, and then you get married, and you get your first place together, and you put your stuff in one side of the closet, your spouse puts your stuff in another side of the closet. You've got your drawers, they've got their drawers. You go to work, to your job, they go to work to their job. You come home, you do your chores, they hopefully do their chores. And then one day you wake up and you're one unit. You don't know when that happened. It just happened, and there you are. You're married. And that's like becoming one with God, that you become intimate with God and speak to God they talk in the Bible, the name for God is Abba, which is Father or Daddy. You become that intimate with God that you have an ongoing relationship, because that divine energy is always in you and around you. That's how that God knows everything, from the dove to whatever, because he's already a part of it. All that's needed is for you to recognize then that you are a part of it. And you are a part of God. You're divine. So I'm going to close with this quote from Marianne Williamson. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant or talented or gorgeous or fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? Who are you not to be? Your playing small does not serve the world. Namaste.
Thank you. That was exactly what I needed to hear this morning. Let's give her another round of applause. Thank you so much. Took my love, took it down. Climbed a mountain and I turned around, and I saw my reflection through the snow-covered hills, and the landslide brought me down. Oh, mirror in the sky, what is love? Can the child in my heart rise above? Can I sail through the changing ocean tide? Can I handle the seasons of my life? I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I built my life around fear. But time makes you bolder, even children get older, and I'm getting older too, and wiser. Well, I've been afraid of changing, 'cause I built my life around fear. But time makes you bolder, even children get older, and I've arrived here. Took my love, took it down. Climbed a mountain and I turned around. And do you see my reflection through the snow-covered hills? That's where the landslide brings you down. Will the landslide bring you down? Will it bring you down? Will the landslide lift you up?
Thank you, Rachel, for another beautiful song. And thank you, Reverend Moore, or Reverend Pat, whichever way you go, or Reverend Pat Moore. Mom? Okay, I'm game for that. Thank you. Appreciate your message today. Do you realize this is the first Sunday of spring? Yeah, yay, yay, yay. And it's beautiful out there today. So let's celebrate today. Just like we have core values here at Unity on Greenville, as every one of you have your core values. So if you would please repeat with me: unconditional love, conscious spiritual transformation, spirit of service, acceptance and inclusion, and expression of divine light. Thank you. We would love for you to connect with us. And you can do that a number of different ways. Our website has a place where you can click on connect, and it has a form that you can fill out. And if you're wanting prayer, let us know. Put your name, telephone number, and we will call you. Or if you're just wanting to talk to someone and find out what principles of Unity are, more about Unity, please feel free to do that. We would love to hear from you. Also, there are cards in the pews that you can use to give information, and there's also prayer cards that you can write people's names on who you want to be prayed over. We, the prayer chaplains, take those in, then we send those names to Silent Unity, and they're prayed over for 30 days. So please feel free to do so. We'd love that. Now, my favorite part of the service is the peace song. So please stand and let's sing together.
Yes, there is peace on earth for mom and I. With every step I take, God, our Creator, united all we. Now we walk with each other in perfect harmony. Yes, there is peace on earth, for this is the moment now. With every step I take, I make this my joyous vow. I take each moment, live each moment in peace eternally. Yes, there is peace on earth. I know it begins in me.
Thank you. And now the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. Please have a blessed week and come back next Sunday. We'd love to see you.
May the light of God surround you. May the love of God enfold you. May the power of God protect you. Presence of God watch over you. Wherever you are, God is, and all is well. May the light of God surround you. May the love of God enfold you. May the power of God protect you. Presence of God will watch over you. Wherever you are, God is. And all is well, it's well. Wherever we are, God is. And all is well.